Reagan's new budget and the big amount of red ink. The president's chief economic advisor, Martin Feldstein, is now the chief center of controversy these days. Treasury Secretary Reagan said one of his reports could be tossed out, and the head of the Federal Reserve, Paul Volcker, is siding with Feldstein. He says there is a big danger in so much red ink. Well, on Wall Street, the Dow Industrials were down more than 22 points today. An average share of stock in the big board was down 57 cents. Losers over gainers better than 4-1. Amex average share was down 27 cents. Losers over gainers there about 6-1. Steve Dunlop has more.
Like electricity seeks the fastest path to ground, investors as a group seek the highest return on their money. But in recent weeks, many of the investors who normally do business here have become convinced that the real returns lie elsewhere. The mounting federal deficit will keep interest rates high, they say, and will make the holding of bonds more profitable than common stock.
The individual investor on the street, he realizes that there's a deficit, and he probably says to himself, well, if I had deficit spending in my household, I laid on consumer installment debt at 19%, in about 4 years I'd go bankrupt. Well, this country's been doing it for years and years and years and years and years, and as long as they have government guaranteed paper that everybody thinks is good, and I would emphasize thinks is good, they'll continue to do it.
As we get closer to a point where deficits begin to put pressure on rates, it's increasingly in the minds of investors. The stock market, after all, does forecast.
Worry about the deficit is only one of several factors driving the stock market down. Analysts, for instance, were surprised that retail sales figures for December turned out flat, despite earlier reports of a booming Christmas season. The gross national product for the fourth quarter grew at an annual rate of 4.5%, far slower than the rise registered earlier in the year. Combine that with the beginning of another record week of borrowing by the Federal Treasury, and some see the beginning of a slide in stock prices. But not everyone in the world of finance thinks the deficit is an insurmountable obstacle.
We have the audacity to believe that the Congress will surprise many people, and in '85, the President and the Congress will work to reduce it significantly for '86 and beyond.
Although the deficit's effects loom closer as time passes, Wall Street analysts are cautioning against predicting that this latest market downturn presages another recession. It's an old saw in this skeptical part of town that of the last 5 recessions, an over-anxious stock market has predicted 9 of them. On Wall Street, Steve Dunlop, Channel 5 News.
Well, President